This should be good.
And you're 2 years old?
Since we're coming to an end of this decade, I figured I would reflect and hopefully help you guys avoid some mistakes that I made in my 20s. But if not, no worries. We all gotta learn. Now, I turned 25 this past October, and I'm not gonna lie, at this point I thought, yo, I'm gonna be a millionaire. I'm gonna have everything that I possibly could want. I'm gonna have everything figured out. It's all good. But here we are. I'm 25. I have a lot. I have good things that I'm very happy with. I'm in debt. Really, I'm never not working, but I'm happy. And I'm realizing that age is truly just a number, and throughout life, it's just one of those things that we all gotta figure out ourselves through the ups and the downs. It kinda is what it is. Now, I've made some good money from the age of 18 till now. And you know, I've spent a lot of money, I've lost a lot of money, and just overall not been very smart about it. So I wanted to make a video of the 7 dumbest purchases I've made in my 20s so far. Now I'm gonna do this from younger to older. So, you know, the worst thing that I did when I was younger, I opened up a Macy's credit card. And it was good because I didn't have credit established. Credit is super important. I've made tons of videos on credit if you guys want to check those out, but it's really important. I ended up opening this card just to establish some type of credit, right? When you go to the counter, they say,
oh, well, you can save $20 today if you open up this so-and-so card.
And I was like, duh, of course I'll do that. My mom was like, why not? You know, you need to start with a credit card, which wasn't the worst decision. I was on top of it. I was always paying it, you know, buying jeans here and there, but then my YouTube and my sneaker business at the time started making some good money. So I went in and just went on like this clothing shopping spree and charged it on my Macy's card, and I forgot about it. So not only was I financing clothes, but I was also late on the payment, which if it goes over a certain period of time, they can actually contact the credit bureau and it'll drop your credit score for missing a payment. Not only that, I had to pay stupid interest. What I didn't know is this card was so high in interest. So I ended up, spending maybe $300, let's say. Either way, the end result was a $600 interest-free charge for missing however long I ended up missing. And let me tell you, I was so sick at this point. Like, I was ready to cut this card up and never use it again. And the worst part is, like, I had the means to pay it. Like, I could have just paid it. I don't know what I was doing exactly, but that was my first credit and just stupidest decision that I'm still hurt to this day thinking like, I just paid all this money for no reason. Financing some clothes that I could have just bought there on my debit card and not really dealt with it. Now, I'm fortunate enough to own a few businesses at this point in my life. There's been a lot of mistakes as far as business is concerned. So I'm gonna tell you guys about a time I got scammed for $16,000 on the stupidest purchase I could possibly make. So I had a sneaker reselling business. Now I might be going off topic of the 7 dumbest. I guess everybody has their own dumb purchases. So this is mine involving business. I had a friend online who claimed he could
give me the shoes that I needed.
So I ended up transferring him the money through bank transfer, and he just disappeared. Like, I don't know what happened to him. $16,000 at the age of 20 is a lot of money, especially when it comes to not actually being your money. It was pre-orders for other customers that I had. This one hurts. And I know a lot of you are like, stupid. But the reality of it is I had been doing business with this dude for about a year, so I thought he was someone that I could trust. It wasn't just some random. It was just a really weird situation, and he ended up disappearing. And later down the road, I learned he scammed a bunch of other people in that community, and it was just a really bad deal. And now I don't know if he's in prison or worse, but it was a huge mistake on my end and really a big business lesson learned. And I'm sure a lot of you guys are wondering, well, what happened to your customers? I made sure to dip into my own bank account and get every sneaker that they had pre-ordered, and I didn't want any bad business. This is a huge takeaway that I can give any of you that have a business. One bad experience through your business, they say that one person will tell 10 people, you know, and it'll just keep going and going. So I didn't want any bad experiences. I made up for all the customers' orders, and it was no biggie, but it was a real huge lesson learned for me because I was in college. It was just bad news. I don't even want to get into the story. I have the entire video on that, so maybe I'll link it above if I can remember, but yeah. that was a bad purchase at 20. The next huge one for me that I have just been wasting so much money, and I finally realized within the last year of 24, 25, is supplements. The supplement industry is huge. Let's be real. Everyone has their own fitness journey. Everybody wants to be fit, they want to exercise, or they just want to dream about exercising and never do it. You know, whatever you like to do is what you like to do. Now, there's been so many times where I'm either watching TV or an ad pops up of, hey, this magic pill will help you build muscle and burn fat. It's only $59.97, go ahead and buy it, and boom, I'm the sucker that buys it, uses it for a little while, it doesn't work, I just spent $60. Who knows how much I've spent on supplements. At the end of the day, bro, I'm understanding that all it is making a plan and sticking to it. Sometimes there's just too much information out there. You might be on track to do exactly what you're set out to do, right? But then someone else keys in, oh, you should be doing this. And then someone else says, oh, you should be doing this. And it just gets to a point where it's so overwhelming that you end up not even doing what you were originally doing, and you don't do nothing at all. Huge takeaway that thank God I've learned early on. If you have a plan, stick to it. Don't let anyone deviate you from it, whether that's fitness, business, anything. Like, just do you. The matter of the fact is too much information is actually bad, which is crazy to think about, but you know, that's the truth. Cars, man, have I done some dumb stuff with cars. So let's just take it back to my first car. YouTube popped off for me, so I decided to buy a Kia Soul. Yes, I'm 6'3", light skinned, driving a red Kia Soul, the hamster car. That was me. I remember going into the dealership, just looking for cars. I was just looking for a good SUV. I wanted something a little bit bigger because obviously I'm taller. I really wanted a Jeep. And I even went to Mazda. We went to so many dealerships, but I ended up going to Kia. They were really nice, and they ended up giving me 0% interest, which at the time I thought, whoa, yeah. You know, I was like 20, you know, you go in there, they're like, oh, that is one of the best credit scores I've ever seen for a 20-year-old. And you're like, that's, yeah, sir, you know, yeah, I've been working. So I ended up financing that car, 0% interest, which in reality, I should have just saved up and just paid cash, but that didn't happen. My payment was around $450. I did enjoy the car, but obviously the zero interest is a scam as far as the car is concerned, just because I paid way more for the car, which I had all the bells and whistles and all, but it wasn't worth $30,000 or whatever it was. And then guess what? I got lost in the sauce. I ended up getting a Mercedes C300. I wanted something that was a little more luxurious, businessy. Obviously, you know, at the time, 21, whatever, you're like, yeah, I'm trying to flex, right? I've learned my lesson. I ended up going into the dealership back and forth dealing with this, which I do believe I got a pretty good deal on that. Got it for under the market, and I got 1.99 interest rate, which was good. Only problem about the car was it's just too small. I loved the car, but I was just too big. It was really hard getting in and out of it. I'm not even gonna lie. I ended up moving to Los Angeles, and then when I moved back to Colorado, I decided, you know what, I'm gonna set a goal to get a Range Rover Sport. Number two, I wanna get a Range Rover Sport. And I know as crazy as that sounds, that's my next goal. So these next 2 months, I'm really gonna be grinding. It might even just be here. It doesn't matter what it takes. If I have to save money living here, if I have to find a place, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna grind until I get both of those done. Bro, oh man. You just do dumb things in your 20s, man. Like, woo. Let me just smack my knee real quick. I remember setting this goal specifically by this time next year, I want to get a Range Rover Sport, blah, blah, blah. Really, anything you set your mind to, you can get for a price. So I found the Range Rover Sport that I wanted. Beautiful. Outside, this really nice gray. Inside, oh, just luxury, bro. Like light interior. I said, ooh, let me get this. How much it gonna cost? I don't care. I don't care the interest rate. I want this car right now. I can buy it. How much? What did I do again, guys? Huge mistake. This is an example of quit while you're ahead. So instead, I still have the Mercedes that I gave to my mom, but I financed a Range Rover Sport at a 10% interest rate. 10%. I went from 0 to 1.99 to 10% with a good credit score. How? But I was just so set on this goal of having this car. I want this car. I want it. I don't care. Whatever it takes. So, financed another car, 10% interest rate. Still have that car. I refinanced it. I got it down to like, I think 4.25% now, which still, man, it's so stupid. If I could just go back and redo all of this, I would have just saved up enough money to go and just buy it outright, which I could have done. I would have put a huge down payment and just financed a little bit and paid that for about 6 months and then just paid it off. And the reason being is just because of credit reasons, right? Obviously the dealership makes money when you finance. It could be an additional $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. 5,000, 10,000, whatever they get you for. But I would always still, even if I had the full amount to just pay it in cash, I would still want to finance it just for my credit's sake. That's just me. Big mistake there. It's tough, but it's a part of life, right? Like that's just how you learn. And for the last year, I've been going back and forth, man, I should sell my car, but then I'll lose like $10,000, you know, doing so. And it's not that I can't afford it. It's just the money that I'm spending every month on this car payment, I could easily be putting that in the savings, paying off debt. My finances are not the best, but I'm learning and I'm really just, come here, finances. And you know, that's really all that you can do. As long as you're aware, that's all that matters. My rent living in Los Angeles. If you guys have been following the channel or if you're new, I had a 625 square foot apartment on Hollywood Boulevard, brand new building, top floor. On the patio, it was like the best view. You could see the entire like downtown LA. What a vibe, right? It cost me like probably $3,500 a month. And that's not the base rent. That's just utilities, cable, internet, everything all put together around $3,000 to $3,500 every single month for 625 square feet. Now note, it was a very luxurious look. You had security, you're in Hollywood, it's all hype. If I could go back again, I would live in somewhere like Hawthorne or Inglewood. Even, damn, I would even live in like Santa Monica. There was places that were a little bit cheaper. Venice, I'm not even lying, like there's places that were cheaper. Now I went there for the experience. I got it out of my system and you know, I know and I've learned and I grew a lot as a person there. Sometimes growing just comes at a very expensive cost and I knew what I was getting myself into. So I look back on it and it was really dumb. I could have got a cheaper place, done a lot more while being there. I kind of strapped myself a little bit. And then looking back on it, now I'm in Colorado. I got 3-bedroom plus 2 other storage units. This place is huge. It's super nice. I got my own nice office. In LA, I was literally eating, sleeping, cooking, watching TV, editing, all in just this little box that cost me $3,000 and now I'm big chilling. But you really just live and learn. That's just life. Now I want to take a few steps back to an iffy purchase. I don't want to say this is a dumb purchase, but I also don't want to say it's a good purchase, and that is college. I'm currently $97,000 in debt from school. And I graduated in 2017 and I'm trying to reevaluate and set my goals to be able to pay it off within the next 2 years. That's my goal. Now, the reason that I say college was a dumb purchase is because I feel like I just didn't know enough, nor did I care to understand the breakdown of taking out loans and how expensive that truly could be. Because I kind of feel like at the time of me being in school, I was running a sneaker business and I could have paid a lot of this down. But just like anyone who really doesn't pay attention, nor do they care at the time, I just had the loans being taken out, and 6 months after school, they hit me hard and I've been paying the last 2 years. And really the way the loan works is, bro, this is so like crazy. It's such a finesse. The way it works is that you actually end up paying the interest of the loan first. I have around 2 loans. I had a bunch of loans. I consolidated one group and the other one is just one loan. So one of the loans is $68,000, right? And then the other loan is around $30,000, I believe. Originally, these loans were $65,000 and $25,000, I think. Maybe $26,000. I should know the numbers. I don't know why, but I'm on the spot. You got me on the spot. Relax. So that was the original loan amount. After paying on those loans for 2 years, which is crazy. It's a lot of money. Just the minimum payment. The loan is now $68,000 and the other one is $30,000. So they both increased by $5,000 with me paying the last 2 years. Bro, like what? How does that make any sense? Like how do people even get out of this? And I'm not even gonna lie to you guys, like this past week is when I decided to really just sit there and like, okay, I've been paying this much for this long for 2 years. Why does my loan not go down? It just kept increasing. And that's because that interest is hitting it. So it's just going up more and more and more. And looking at that makes me reflect on all my sneaker purchases, my cars, all the things that I could have just lived below, way below my means, and probably almost had these paid off. But instead, I didn't do any of that. I'm really just living life, which I mean, that's all you can do, right? Come on. I'm not gonna let these loans crush me. I'm not gonna sit here and cry about it. Like I'm still gonna live my life to the fullest. But that's just the one thing that really just sits on my mind. Like, was this really a good investment? Yes, because I still could go get a great job and still make a lot of money. I think the statistic over the lifetime is the bachelor's degree makes $1.3 million more than someone without one. There's a slight chance that I'm wrong about that statistic, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Things do always come down to it's all about who you know. It's just that $100,000 fallback that I have that I'm just like, bro, why? Now, in case you're wondering, I did study business and entrepreneurship. That's really like my passion, obviously, if you can't tell. There's tons of schools that I could have went to in order to get this degree, but I went to Johnson & Wales. It was a private school. I thought I had an academic and scholarship for basketball, but clearly I didn't do much. So yeah, you win some, you lose some, but I'm gonna pay this off, man, best believe. And then, you know, we're just gonna end it out with number 7, my Rolex. This was a dumb purchase. Few things, right? Number 1, why are you buying a $10,000, $6,000, whatever watch when you have $100,000 of student loans? Why would you do that, you stupid head? I got this watch because I have worked really hard to get where I'm at. Obviously, Rolex represents a status, all the wrong things. To me, it just represents like all my hard work all into this small little watch that really can increase in value. This is actually a Rolex Explorer II from 1999. There's specifics. There's a whole watch community that really cares about this. I didn't necessarily buy this for the status, and it's not like I'm just walking around, people are like, oh my God, is that a Rolex? No, that doesn't happen when you have a watch. Nobody even knows that you have it's a watch. You buy it for you. And this is just like an investment piece for me. Word of advice, pay down all your debt, your credit cards, all that, blah, blah, blah. There's all these rules on what you should be doing. But at the end of the day, we all live our lives for us. So I decided to pull the trigger on these through a deal that I got, and I haven't looked back since. I can sell this at any moment. If anything, this is kind of a priceless piece to me that hopefully I can hand down to my son one day. At the end of the day, looking back on all of it, as a 20 to 25-year-old, you don't necessarily need a watch like this unless you can buy about 10 of them. I can't do that. I mean, I could with my credit, but I ain't got the cash like that. Just be like, yo, let me get 10. It is a dumb purchase, but it's something that I like, and you know, sometimes we make dumb purchases that we like, whatever. That's life, let's be real. Moral of the story, we all know exactly what it is that we need to get done and how it needs to get done. Life is just this journey of making dumb mistakes, learning from them, growing. If we did everything perfect, I don't even know, like, imagine if the world was just perfect. Things would be weird. That is the dumbest 7 things that I've purchased in my 20s so far. I know this is kind of a different video for this channel, so let me know what you guys think of it. Also, let me know what you've bought in your 20s or your teens or your 30s, 40s that you really are just like, why did I do that? But thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed today's video. If you guys want to follow me on Instagram or Twitter, it's @MikeTheCompass. But I'll see you guys in the next one.